Now we are.
The simple question. Now we are.
We are.
But I. Well then, Connor, I'm gonna tell you about a little show from my childhood.
Uh, okay. I wasn't prepared, but like if we want to jump into it, let's do it.
I want
Okay.
you. I want. You know what? You know what? Let's make it a show from both of our childhoods. That's even more fun.
No, let's.
Let's talk.
I
Let's talk
feel
about.
I feel like we should just start with yours and then just ease into
We'll
whatever
transition.
if
We'll
we
transition.
if we need to if we need to.
You know what? Actually, let's talk about like a broader topic. And I just wanted to talk to you. Do you remember like growth gross things being like marketed to kids? Like obviously slime has always been like a really big thing, but there was a time where like TV shows got pretty gross. You
I
know?
I'm immediately like there are so many little different connections for everything just popping up in my head. Like for one, gross history, those books, gross, disgusting
Oh,
histories,
horrible histories.
horrible histories. That one, series, that book series was so big back in the day. I remember like reading all of those and just having like there were just a bunch of different facts throughout history about how people would die and gross diseases, like all these little different things. So yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like that, are just
That wasn't even an example that I was thinking about, but that's a really good point. I was never into it, but then a friend of mine got me like this huge book, like bigger than a book should be, of like horrible histories, and I remember just reading all these facts. And you know when you like have like facts to spare, and you're like, oh, did you know that they used to like impale people on spikes? Especially when you're a kid. Especially when you're a kid and
oh,
you're just like the biggest know-all.
I love how that was the example that you came up on the spot. Did you know that they used to impale people on
Oh,
spikes?
I'm sorry, Connor. I'm sorry, Connor. I'm sorry. Can you think of a good example from a horrible histories book? It has been years.
Well, I remember a torture method that they used to do
Right.
was they would string you on a stretcher inside a box, and they would put like rats or mice inside the box with you, and the only way for them to
Oh
escape
yes,
would
yes.
be eating through you,
You know
and
it
it would
through,
just
yeah. So what
just like
they
the
would
worst way to die. I remember like that like sticking to my brain for quite a while
they,
because it's just such a
what they
gross
did
image.
what they did is they heated the can so that the rat would like panic.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um,
I just love
yeah. So
that
horrible
the
histories.
fact that we got like so creative with all these different like torture methods. Just it shows how humanity in
Is
every possible aspect
evil.
will go far and beyond to be as creative as possible to whether it's through art, whether it's through music, whether it's through causing pain to a fellow human being.
Yeah.
It's just
And
great.
there's so many examples. Like I said, I mean, like there were books upon books of horrible histories, and
Yeah.
they were eating stuff. It was all horrible. Uh, but yeah, we'll circle back. There were some gross TV shows, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but do you remember a show called Grossology?
I don't.
So Grossology was these two spies, a boy and a girl, a brother and a sister, and they were sent by what was exactly like what was like basically nerdy Colson, and they'd get sent on these missions to deal with things that were too gross for adults to deal with. And so there was this guy that
Okay.
like lived in a tank of his own farts. There was a creepy bug lady. Um, there was like a Frankenstein monster who just like smelt really bad, and he used like this is separate from the guy who like breathes his own farts. um, which is such a weird thing to think about now. And I
Oh,
think I
only
had like,
now. Only now. Okay.
well, as a kid, you're like, ah, yeah. I always liked secret agent stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing would be is like they would be like, oh, like, uh, I've I've been like they sprayed me with this gas, and now I have these like horrible scabs that like are falling off me. And I'm just gonna call him like the Coulson guy. Would like barf into a trash bag bin because it would be like too gross for him to handle.
That's
And
hilarious.
this was like a very good show. They would do like, oh man, nasty stuff, and it was like there was nothing was too far. Scabs, pimples, ugh, just snot.
It's
Yeah.
it's interesting that that has become. I mean, you know, these shows and these commercialized products were like
Mm.
their selling point was having an aspect of grossness or something that's kind of disgusting, and that's something that kids found attractive. That I don't want to use that word. Endearing. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah,
They
yeah.
they
Yeah. It was like
it's just
appealing. It appealed to them.
there we go. That's the right word. So they find
Yeah.
the aspect of something that's gross appealing, and but why? Why are
I think
kids
that
so kind of um
I think it's like it's the idea of like toilet humor, you know, and it's stuff that's taboo to talk about as an adult. Like you don't go like, oh, I picked this like massive booger the other day, you know. But like as a kid, you're like, yo, look what I just pulled out my nose, you know, and it's funny, or farts are funny, or burps are funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, like you look at this like toys today. I watch a YouTuber that like reacts to kids' toys, and it's like you get a toilet, and then you open the toilet, and there's like a like different colored poops, or like a a puppy that's like like oozing snot or something. And it's yeah, you just wonder why this is so appealing. But it's not necessarily a new thing because
no,
like
definitely not. No.
I remember the like, oh, I've got a doll that like poops and pees. I mean, not me because I was a boy and I didn't play with dolls.
Yeah,
Not that
played
not that
with
that's a
action figures,
problem.
bro.
Not that that's a problem. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had an Action Man, and Action Man did not pee or poo, and I was fine with it. I
I mean,
never had to change
you know, if it had those
Action
extra
Man's diaper.
features, I would totally pay at least another like $500 for it. You know, that's high quality toy making right there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it just seems like everything. Yeah, everything now is like the dumpster pack, and then like collect them all. That's another thing. They make them into like these like collectible things. You know, like oh, have you got the golden toilet? Have you got the rainbow prism uh poop pile? Just- And it's like it's kind of like a gender neutral thing because like you'll get like rainbow poo or unicorn poo, and that's like supposed to appeal to like the girl side of things, you know?
yeah,
Or
still a
yeah,
weird like you know, I think I can go on and on about the about how we've attached colors to genders and sex and all that stuff. But
maybe we won't go into that
we
on
won't
this.
go into that, but it's still it's such a weird, strange thing to think about at this point, especially when it comes to kids and toys. Like at such a young age, it's kind of decided for them, like, oh, this is what you're supposed to like because you have this gender or whatever. I don't know. It's just weird. You know, you did mention goo and sludge or something.
Yeah.
That you play with. And I feel like there are just a bunch of different animated series where they incorporate something disgusting. It's not really centered around gross
Hmm.
stuff, but there's always like an element of it. And the thing that came to mind immediately was TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I
Right.
I think the first line of toys had like a little tank of
Thing of slime.
slime.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the most fun. I couldn't understand why this thing was so much fun to hold and touch and play around with and throw on the ground. For at least like half an hour before you get
It would
tired
get
and
nasty when you got it on the ground.
yeah. No, you try your best to like keep it off the ground, but like
It happens.
things happen,
Then
and you get a little excited, and you drop in, stuff gets stuck in it, and you're like, oh crap.
Fucking mom's carpet now.
And then once that happens, you're like, well, I can't play with this. There's like hair and sand in it or something.
Yeah, I mean, they're like the original that animated show like always focused on transformed from the norm by the nuclear goo. So yeah, slime was definitely a selling point. But I remember as well Ben 10 toys. Like you used to get like some Ben 10 toys that like they'd come in slime. I think it was Ben 10. Or you'd get like
I'm not sure.
Not sure. One I definitely remember was for Monsters Inc. for the Monsters University. You would collect like these little doors, and in the door was a monster from the show, and like a little packet of slime that you could pour in the door with them. Yeah. I was like, this isn't necessary. Like, you know, the monsters in Monsters Inc. aren't necessarily slimy. Like there are slimy monsters, but they're not like all going around like covering each other in slime or whatever.
Yeah.
Now that I think about that, there was definitely like a show with monsters where they like went out of their way to like bath in slime, and like they would like rub like dirt on themselves instead of like showering. Do you remember what that was?
It's like, I don't know. There's something that's being brought out of the deepest part of my brain, and I can't quite get to it. Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, I guess like I said, it was just a genre of like monsters are gross. Oh, Are Real Monsters? It could have been Are Real Monsters.
Oh, that's possible.
Yeah, they ate like trash and stuff. Oh yeah, and the one that was like, he was like just a body with legs, and then his arms were like also holding up his eyes all the time. He would always be like super stinky, and like his powers would be.
Why is it that I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't know why that's the thing that finally unlocked that memory. That's so funny. Oh man, I remember that. There
was the like high pitched like little gremlin guy, and then there was like a black and white candy cane who was the girl, and then they had that like, and now that I think about it, very gay. Like principal or whatever character.
Were they a bad guy? Was it a bad principal?
They were kind of like an antagonist because they would
no.
It was a bit like what's it, him from Powerpuff Girls, like he was just very flamboyant, and then they would get in trouble, and it would be because like they'd done something and he'd found out about it or whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to I want to backpedal back to Ben 10. Backpedal back to backpedal to when you mentioned Ben 10 again. Right. Just the element of something gross being incorporated again, like the transformation sequences. They didn't involve. This is the other thing. The other reason why I really liked it as a kid was it was more organic. I want to say inverted commas, like realistic transformation, where the body would morph into this other form, and not, there weren't like bright lights and sparkles and stuff before turning into this this gremlin thing.
Like one shining light like that they use every time he transforms. Like I always remember like him turning into Wild Mutt and the fur like growing over his eyes.
Yeah, and they did it in a way where it wasn't too overboard, it wasn't too like disgusting, but again, still there's that element of grossness added to it, and and honestly, I think that is just way more creative and way more exciting than some weird like sparkles and colors swirling around the character or something.
It was definitely targeted at us as like kids watching TV. That
Definitely.
like
Yeah.
things were gross and things that are gross are funny.
Yeah.
And
Or
like I was I was very like early on as a kid told like no, like we don't laugh at farts and and stuff like that. So it was
yeah.
very like taboo for me to be like making fart jokes or whatever. There's one you probably wouldn't have heard of because it was an English thing, and I only got it through like comics that I got from England. But it was called Boogers, and it was about this guy that would pick his nose, and he'd imagine what this little booger would be, and you'd get like Puke Skywalker or Puke Snotwalker or something, and then there would be like a little parody of like what that booger's story was. And they looked like little green booger people. I still have like a figurine, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, that was one of those cases where I think like the comic was made to sell the figures. Um, but it was a really like that was something gross that I personally was like invested in, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
did you ever have any toys? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you have like toys that would like have slime as a part of them that would like shoot slime
It
or
was definitely like the TMNT stuff. Like I
yeah.
think there was a like a compartment in the TMNT toy, or it might have just been like a little tank, like plastic tank, where you like pull it out of something. Honestly, I don't remember, but I think that was
jumps
definitely
over the
that was definitely the biggest
over the figure.
biggest one. And like you'd go to a one of those gaming, not stores, hubs, where there would be like old arcade games and driving games and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't remember what we call that,
Not like
but
like an arcade.
yeah, like an arcade. But I feel like arcades not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So when you win enough tickets, you go up to the stand and
Get slime.
and you get slime. Like that was probably the one thing that I'd always get every time I'd win enough tickets. So, but it's
that activated another memory because I was like get slime, and it activated the Nickelodeon Kid Choice Awards, and like how big a part slime is and getting slimed is in that. Like Nickelodeon's whole like vibe for the longest time was like a splash of like orange slime with like Nickelodeon written in it.
Right. Yeah.
And the whole point of the Kids' Choice Awards is like how much slime can they do? Like they shoot slime on the audience, or like they dump slime on celebrities. Slime water slides. That's actually kind of cool. I think slime is one of the like less gross things. Like I was talking about toys today being like pooing and having toilets and stuff, but I think slime is okay because slime can be anything.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's weird because like all these gross things have negative connotations, but we're so drawn to them. Like I'm pretty sure it's a genetic, it's such a natural motive to avoid something that's gross or disgusting, but we're still kind of we're still like drawn to them. Like pimple popping videos or something. Like that's people find it satisfying to see something that's gross like that, but it's they enjoy it. And I'm trying I don't know.
Yeah, like recently,
yeah,
that guy like went viral because he like cleaned like cow hooves or horse hooves or whatever, and like cleaning the dirt out from in between them. And like I know multiple people that had those videos in their feed and were like, why am I seeing this? And it had just gone viral from people being like, morbidly curious.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think maybe like our generation, or generations that were growing up with like slime and Ninja Turtles and stuff, there's still like an interest in things that are gross and things that are like taboo, far more than like the older generations would be.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, well, I think I've spoken about this topic to the
I think
we've expanded.
we've
Yeah.
consider this topic slimed.
No, that's not going to be a thing. No, we're not. We're not ending
Connor,
the video like that.
how many slimes out of how many slimes do you give this conversation?
At least 5.7 out of 3.5.
Out of 3. Wow, that's
Point
that's
five,
a lot of
3.5. Yeah, it's a lot of slime.
recurring.
But it's because
That's a lot of slime.
it's because the slime counter, when I put the slime inside, it kind of overflowed, and so it kind of became.
Dude, did you get slime all over my slime counter?
Yeah, I did.
I hate when that happens.
What are we talking about? Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, thanks for watching or listening. And hopefully next time we'll be talking about something less gross and something less slimy.
But also satisfying.
I've been your host, Chris.
Your co-host Connor.
And why not like and subscribe?
Nearly put the call down.
Again, every time.
Again, man.